Just in case you aren't up to speed with the BMW E36, I've been carrying out a full restoration on this car, including doing the bodywork myself. In the last video, I finally managed to get around to painting the shell. So I prepped it all, sanded it all, primed it all, and then it was just time to get the paint and the lacquer on, which is now all done. So in this video, I'm going to tell you about some of the updates since I've done the shell of the car and some of the issues that I've been facing since I painted the car, as I've been having some issues with the lacquer, which has not been ideal. So check out this video to follow on from the last update where I painted the shell on the BMW E36. So what we can do now is get rid of all the masking paper, get rid of all the masking tape, leave it out in the sun to dry properly, and then over the next couple of days I can sand it all down, polish it, and then we can finally start fitting all of the doors, which is going to be absolutely awesome. This is following on from the last video, so if you haven't watched the video before, please do make sure you do. As you'll see, I finally got the E36 all painted. You'd see my setup, I'm just outside in a gazebo, which is the best that I can do with what I've got. I haven't got a spray booth, I haven't got any temperature controlled areas or anything like that. I'm literally just painting this car completely outside. So I finally got all of the shell done. It was just a case of them waiting for it to cure, and then I could start taking off all of the masking paper and the masking tape, as the plan was after this was done I could get it all sanded down and get the whole car fitted up. But if you have a look at the next videos, you'll see why that didn't go quite to plan. Now that E36 has been fully painted, I've left it to dry for a couple of days to let the lacquer fully cure off. And then what I'm going to do is get it all sanded down, get all the parts sanded down, and then we can finally start getting it fitted up. So what my plans are today is get the car completely clear. Obviously we've got all the bits inside, so we've got all of that, the rubbers, we've got all the parts, we've got some lights, we've got all that sort of stuff inside the car. I've been using the E36 as a bit of a shed. So what I want to do this morning is get all that cleared out, and then we can finally start looking at sorting the paintwork out and getting it all finished in the final stages of the detailing sort of stuff. So like I say, get it all emptied out today, get it sanded down, and then I can get it all polished. And then what I want to do is get all of the parts on the car, get it all fitted up, and then we can make a list of what I need, because basically there'll be some parts that I've chucked away or broke along the process of taking all apart. So obviously there'll be a case of working out what I need to get for it. I know there's obviously I need some windows for the front, so I'm going to get some perspex windows for the front. I might need some trim pieces and stuff like that, but yeah, let's see what we need today. I'll show you around the car whilst it's dry, show you what exactly I need to do, and then we'll crack on this morning and get it all done. So that's the car semi-cleared out. Got a few other little bits and bobs in there, so like the door hinges and all that sort of stuff, but yeah, it just looks a little bit better to be working with, although the stuff's just everywhere now. I've left the boot as it is, just because that's all the boot parts in there. But I think what I'm going to do first is do a little test panel on this, just get this sanded down a bit and see what sort of result we can get. So obviously we've got some run marks, which wasn't ideal. Now we've got these marks in the lacquer from where I've left it covered. And obviously there's orange peel and all that sort of stuff in there. So let's do a little test patch on this before we crack on. And then we can move on with the rest of it. So what I'm going to do first is use wet and dry sandpaper to sand it all down. I'm going to go from 1200 up to 5000, I think. So I'll do a whiz over with 1200, and then we'll move up to 2000, 3000, and then up to 5000. And what I'll do, I'll machine polish it all, and that should bring it up nice and smooth. Obviously, aim is to get rid of the runs, get rid of the lacquer peel, and get rid of these marks that I've made from covering it up. And then what we'll do, do a little test section, see what this is like compared to the other side. But I think it'll come up quite well. What I'll do, I'll split this up into two sections. We'll do the top bit first, and then we'll do the bottom bit, and then I can show you exactly the result that you can sort of get with wet sanding. I don't do a lot of wet sanding for the detailing stuff, but hopefully we should get a good result. Do a lot of machine polishing and stuff, so that sort of stuff's ideal. But I'm actually looking forward to getting this all sanded down and seeing how smooth that we can get it. As you would have seen in the last video, there were some marks in the lacquer. There was a run mark, and there were some other marks where I put a dust sheet on the panel and it had marked all. What I didn't realise at that point, the lacquer wasn't hardened properly. So when I was mixing the lacquer, I was in a bit of a rush and I didn't actually do it to what I should have, which has created all of this mess in the lacquer itself. So here I'm basically wasting my time trying to sand down the car, as later on I'm going to have to come back and repaint all of these panels on the shell of the car, which is not ideal in the slightest. So whilst the car is completely clear, I've pulled it outside just so you can see it in the light, and I've noticed some issues when sanding the paintwork already, which is not ideal. So I'll spin the camera around so you can see. What to do, I've pulled it outside just because basically I wanted to get some nice shots of it outside here anyway, just whilst it's like this. But obviously I've just been sanding down this piece here to try and take the run marks and stuff out. But what I'm finding is the lacquer is almost like it's not cured properly. Like every time I touch it, like I'm literally leaving prints in the lacquer, which is not ideal. So I reckon I've probably not used enough hardener or something, and it's just not cured out as well as it should have. When I was polishing this, the lacquer was just getting too warm, and it was starting to cause it to go really sort of like, not orange peely, just different type. Well, as you can see there, it's all sort of going a little bit dull. So I think the lacquer is not cured out fully, which is not ideal. So I'm probably going to have to repaint this. So what I'm going to do is get all the doors fitted up, and then when it comes to it, I'll mask all this off, sand it down properly, and get all this painted, because the run marks are still in there anyway, and it just looks a little bit naff. So I'll probably have to redo this panel, which is not ideal. The rest of it seems alright. Like, you put your hand in this, it all seems fairly good, but this literally feels so soft. So I'm going to leave the sanding for a minute. What I'll probably do is get all the doors fitted up today, get the bonnet fitted up, and then obviously just start making this list, because yeah, if it's still not dry, it's not going to be a good time to get all this sanded down and polished. Like you would have seen, I've been having some issues with that rear quarter. I think the paintwork's just far too soft. It's almost like it's not hard enough, which is not ideal. Every time I'm touching it, it's sort of leaving fingerprints and that in it, which is obviously, yeah, not ideal, to be fair. So what I'm going to do is just leave it all for a minute, and then we'll sand it all once all the parts are actually fitted. So we'll get all the doors and the bonnet and the bumpers and all that fitted today, and then we'll concentrate on the sanding, just to hopefully give it a little bit more time to sort of settle. That back quarter, I'm going to have to repaint anyway. The runs are just too hideous. And yeah, it's just causing too much issues in the paint. Right, so I'm starting to put all the doors on. I've done the driver's side, so I've had a little bit of experience with that. It's definitely a learning curve, so I'm just going to put the passenger door on. Obviously, I've got no assistance today, so I'm going to use this stool here, and then basically I'm just going to line it up so I can get the bolts inside of these hinges, and then also get all this connected up. What my thoughts are about doing is just getting it all on the car, just so it makes it a little bit easier to sand. And obviously once all the sanding's done properly, and then also get it all like lined up and stuff, because there's no point lining it all up today, because there's bound to be some changes and stuff like that. So yeah, I'll get this on, just so it's a little bit easier to sand, and then like I say, we can line it all up properly at some other point. But yeah, it's a right faff trying to do it on your own. That's another reason why I'm not going to bother getting it too perfect today, just because I've got no assistance. But hopefully in the next week or so, Felix can come in and give me a hand if he's not dossing about like he normally is. But yeah, let's get this on, shall we? So what my plans are, just get it on sideways first. It's a bit of a faff. I haven't taken the tape off these either, so let's take the tape off these quick. I think if you had a second person, you'd connect up the electrics and stuff first, get that screwed in, and then do the hinges. But like I say, because I haven't got an extra pair of hands, I'm just going to try and wing it and hope for the best, as always. Oh, nearly knocked over my teeth. Right, that's in. Oh, first time, boys. First time, would you look at that? And that's all lined up as well. Lovely stuff. Let me just run around and get some bolts. Or some nuts even. Where they are. I've got nuts and stuff everywhere. 13 mil. Man like Felix is away for the weekend, so on holiday probably. So he's lent me his tools. I've got a nice little Milwaukee, I don't even know what it is, some sort of sander, just to help get the nuts on a little bit quicker rather than using these. But because it's quite a bit of an angle, this won't always get into the areas that you need it to. So I'll use this initially, and then use this sender, whatever that is, once I'm able to. So if we get these in, what I want to do as well is get the doors off and clean up these hinges, because it looks naff when the doors are all clean and the hinges have got all grease on them. So what I'll do, I'll wall them down. Might even just chuck a little bit of paint on them, to be fair, just to clean them up a bit. I don't know why I didn't think about doing that beforehand, to be honest. But as always, just hope for the best with most of this. Right, sweet, got that. Just so it's in place. Lovely stuff. Bloody hell, this one went in first time. The driver's door wasn't that easy. This one's gone in first time though. And then I just need to get a bit of the check strap. Which over here? I'll just lose it now. Passenger doors on. So yeah, I'm gonna just leave it like that. Let's do the next door. Right, so next up, passenger door. Let's get all the tape off first. So just tape off all the check strap and the electrical connections just to make sure didn't get any paint in there. So yeah, let's whiz all this off and then we can get it fitted up. Get this off. Alright, so that's done. Let's get this fitted up. So these hinges work a little bit different. If we open this one up, put that one flat, and put that one like that. Yeah, these hinges are hella greasy, so we're going to need to be cleaned down properly. Move that door. See, this one's straightforward. Oh shit. That one's in. That one's out. See, okay. Another one. Tell you what, I definitely can appreciate body shops a little bit more than what I used to, that's for sure. So what I'll do, Felix's little Milwaukee sender that he's gave me, I'll do this one up here, just because it's a bit easier. Go on, boy. Be like you. Lovely stuff. That one go on? Probably not. Right, let's find it. That's what I was to do. So check that. Boom. So it's okay. Passenger door on as well. The only bits that need to get fitted up now, we've got like I have no idea what it is, but we've got two parts here that I need fitted up. So we'll get them, it should be over it.
Oh, first one, right, come on, that's on. That's the end, that's the win. Easy, that's the win. I'm hoping this paint lasts, I tell you that. Otherwise it is going to be an absolute disaster. But it should be alright. I've taken off a bit of tape here and it's caused the paint to come away a little bit, but oh well. Right, both doors are on, which is ideal. I'm not going to get them all on properly, but just so they're on, ready to sand. Let's get these off. Perfect. Nice. Right, so now the doors are on, what I'm going to do is get all of the rubber surrounds and stuff in, just because that I can get all that in without having to worry about taking it all off. Obviously I'm going to realign the doors and stuff just so it all lines up properly, but obviously I'll get it all sanded down to get the orange peel out first. So I think, like I say, all the rubbers that go in and around here will get lined up. I've got a whole box of them over there, so we'll concentrate on that now, and then we can crack on with like the boot and the bonnet and stuff. I probably shouldn't have done that because it's probably going to do some damage. But yeah, we'll send it on. But yeah, like I say, I've got a whole box of bits here. Let's just sort through this and get it all fitted up.
That's that for this video. In the next one, you'll be able to see me transform some of the panels from the horrible orange peeled look to something a little bit smoother and something a little bit nicer. Not an ideal crack in this current video where obviously I've got to paint the shell of the car again, but at least all of the doors and that are fitted. They're not properly fitted, it's just a loose fit, but it's just to see what it looks like on the car. So make sure you stay tuned for the next video where I'm going to talk to you through the process of wet sanding and polishing your paintwork panels to get it back to as showroom condition as possible. Bear in mind, obviously I've painted this outside, so it's never going to be perfect. But as you can see from this clip, from the before and after, the paintwork is looking